Elu, I'm glad you could make it. Sharon, I see you're there. Jay, Jake, Linda, Stephanie. Hello, everybody. So we've got a couple of minutes before we get started. Does anybody have any questions they'd like to share? Sammy and Samantha. Dryce, I'm glad you could make it. Sylvia. Elu says hello.
Hello, Elu.
Jake says hello.
Hello, Jake.
Hi, Barbara. Stephanie wants to know what rainwater collected during a full moon will do. So,
My grandma washed her hair with it.
right. Promotes hair growth, heals wounds, brings in abundance, but most importantly, it would just sit in whatever container you put it in.
Being froggy tonight, people.
Yes, I'm being ornery. But Stephanie, seriously, rainwater collected during a full moon has many properties based off of many different beliefs. So what do you think it would work for? Really is what matters. Like Shaw says, her grandmother would wash her hair with it. Hello, Jessica, Deborah. Carrie, I'm glad you could make it. Esther. Hello, Lynn. I don't make too many jokes, but I try. And yeah, Samantha, you could wash anything with it to purify and to empower. A full moon brings good things and oh, Deb. So I've got a good lot of you, which is great. Ray and Rachel, I'm glad you both could make it. I've been asked the last few weeks if I could provide some information for light workers and how can they conjure. And so I had to do some research. It's been 28, 30 years maybe since I actually sat down and talked with light workers until a few weeks ago. Sarah, it's not too bad for us. It's been a little muggy, but not terrible. So I think the biggest concern that light workers would have is their version of the threefold law, or the we're going to trust in what we believe in. So to me, sympathetic magic, conjure, fits perfect. So sympathetic magic is when you put things together so that they'll manifest if they're really meant to. So you make a doll baby of a guy and you put a needle in his knee so he has a bum knee. You're not actually injuring him. The universe is. All you're doing is you're asking for the universe or for the God that you believe in to grant you the ability to hurt his knee. And it is up to that deity or that spirit or that universe to actually do it. And Deb, I'm sorry I'm cutting out. So another way that you can use sympathetic magic, and this is probably one of the greatest uses of our products, is our oils. A conjure oil by itself can be used for a huge myriad of things. But the simplest way to use it is to put it on your hands, focus on your thoughts and your intentions, inhale the fumes, and then let that anoint over you and become part of you for that day. And then whatever that intention was, whatever that thought was, is what will manifest in your life. So manifestation is a combination, in my eyes, of a couple of things. You guys are blowing me up. Nobody's listening. Sarah loves her custom healing oil.
Awesome.
And Deb's talking to Jay. So, life manifests based off of what we focus on. So if we focus on negative thoughts, we're going to get negative pieces of life. So it doesn't matter if you're a light worker or a dark worker or whatever you call yourself. And yes, Deb, I can see you. But there's an impact that you have, and I call it the 4 rules of Conjure. And that impact you have is based off the relationship you have with what you believe in. So if you believe, the easiest way to do this, because I don't want to offend anybody and I don't want to direct you in any particular direction. The easiest way to explain this is if you believe that this rock, this piece of swamp, petrified swamp, has the power to control your universe. We're going to say that makes this your God. This little piece of petrified swamp. Okay? So, you have to build a relationship with that God. And that relationship needs to be a give and take relationship. I serve you for you to serve me. And as you build that, some things start to happen. Your intuition is going to either tell you that this is what he wants or she wants. This is how she wants you to do it. And this is your path. And if you accept that path, then you've started to build that particular relationship. Okay. So now, this petrified swamp is your God. You serve it, it serves you. How does that happen? So it has 25% of the say in your universe, your reality. So it makes 25% of every decision and of every action, of everything that affects you. Well, it's not a lot, is it? So your manifestation, what your intentions are, what your conjure, whether it's burning candles, rubbing oils, rubbing two sticks together, it doesn't matter. Your manifestation has an equal part. Your manifestation, what you decide you're gonna create for your life through thought, not through action, just through thought, is 25% of your reality. Your God, the bog, is 25% of your reality. Then your actions are 25% of your reality. And then most importantly, the belief that the bog, your intentions, and your actions all play together, 25% each, creating 75% of your reality. Your belief that those three things control your reality and that you serve the bog through your intentions, now 100% of your reality is in your control. I know that's a lot of percentages. I know that's crazy. So if you're freezing up, you'll have to come back in an hour and watch, not live. I'm getting a little bit of both from you. I'm sorry for that. We live in rural America. I've got a landline that this goes across, and it's the best I can do. But so when you take the 100%, now it comes down to what you believe. If you believe that you are to send out negative energy, which I've got a problem with, and we'll talk about, that you will receive negative energy back, then that's your belief. You will manifest that creation because you believe it to be so. So energy, in my opinion, is just raw material. It's like the grass in your yard. As it sits there and grows, it does nothing. There she goes.
Don't do that.
All it does is sit there. But what can you do with grass? You can feed animals with grass. That's a good thing. You can also kill with grass. A single blade of grass placed in the right spot at the right moment in something's life can destroy it. So is grass good or bad? Is grass light or dark? It's neither. It's just grass. If grass had a conscious mind, which it may. I've talked to a blade of grass and it spoke back. So if grass had a choice to create life or take life, does it make it good or bad? Not really. Not if the life it's taking is just, or better yet, the life it's saving is bad. It's all perception. So as a light worker, the way you know that you're doing right is you feel no guilt at the end of it. So if you want justice because somebody did something wrong to somebody else, then reach out to your God, the bog, and ask for justice. Ask for the bog to do what is right and just according to the bog. Not to you, And then you have faith and you trust and you believe that it'll manifest. You take actions by showing the bog what you believe to be justice and what you believe to be right. So that way, everybody within the universe can see what you really want. Okay? So, anytime I have a light worker who's come to me and says, I can't do this because I would pay for it, and it's a price I don't want to take, I have to explain to them that if I do it for you, I'm still doing it for you. So you're still the source of the desire. I just become a tool, like the bog, like the blade of grass. I become something you use to manifest what you want. So again, if you believe that you will be punished for what you desire, then you've got a problem. I want to tell you, the only person who can actually punish you, the only thing that can actually punish you, isn't the bog, your God, isn't the universe, isn't your neighbor, isn't the government. The only person who can punish you spiritually is you. Because you'll manifest the negativity in your life. The action, the blade of grass, the thought, the light, the dark, none of that is negative. It's just raw material. So you decide how you're going to control that raw material through the four principles: the manifestation, the belief in a higher power, and the relationship with that higher power, the higher power itself, and your actions. By using those four principles, now you can decide what works and what will not work for you, and what you will accept and what you won't accept. The threefold law, or any other version of it, anything that says that you will be punished for your thoughts or actions, probably needs to be on a piece of toilet paper and flushed. Because in the end, if it doesn't feel like love, it probably isn't love. And yes, Elu, I remember. And Deb, I hope that I was able to answer your question. In the end, we carry our own weight in whatever it is. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says. It matters what we believe, what we feel. And to me, that's the most crucial part. So light, dark, those are shades created by man. Right and wrong, something created by man. Those cats that were back there cleaning themselves, they don't know the difference between right and wrong. All they know is what is in their nature. When one of them knocks over our drink on Miss Shaw's computer, we think it's wrong. We get mad as can be. But it's not the cat's fault. The cat's just doing its nature. We got one cat who loves straws.
3 times. 3 times.
But it's the same for man. So, and I'm going to pick on Deb just because she can't see the podcast. She'll see it later. But if Deb makes a decision to do something, how is it my place to judge her? I don't know her beliefs, and even if I have an idea of her beliefs, it's not my place. The only person who can judge her is her. The only thing that can judge her is her, not her God, not her peers, not even her belief system. Because until she decides what her beliefs are, that is where she'll be judged. Some of the greatest ancient philosophies talk about this. Judgment in the afterlife is how much weight is on your heart. How much do you regret in your life? And the rule is to go into their heaven or into their afterlife, you cannot enter with any weight in your heart. So everything you have to have done, you had to choose to accept as your own actions. When you walk through life without guilt and you own every one of your own actions, it doesn't matter what you do. And Deb, I know you don't abide by threefold. So if that's the case, make it yours. Own it. If you want to walk down the street and punch everybody you can in the face, why is it to me to judge? You'll be judged by man because there's laws of the land. And you'll get in trouble for that. But spiritually, that's on you. If you want to walk around that angry, that frustrated all the time, that's your choice. Because when I cross paths with you, because there is no difference between negative and positive energy, and I'm going to take what you give me, which most of the world sees as negative, and I'm going to use it as raw material. And so you're going to lift me up. When you swing upon me and you try to knock me down, you'll lift me up and you'll make me higher than where I was, and I'll thank you for it. And I'll bless you for it. And that will raise me even more because that draws more energy into my reality. So light workers, learn to see in the dark. And yes, Samantha, that's a good way of looking at it. And yes, Stephanie, if your heart is light as a feather. Egyptian, Nordic, most Eastern philosophies, ironically, anything that's over 2,000-3,000 years old has a judgment similar to the light as a feather. So, for all the light workers out there, seek out a botanica, somebody who makes products for Conjure and for spiritual manifestation, who doesn't abide by a set of laws that says this is where you can go, and that's it. Or that doesn't say there are no rules, so that's it. Find somebody you trust, build a relationship with them, buy what they recommend based off of that relationship. So a complete stranger walks into a botanica and walks up to the counter and says, I've got a problem, I need to know what you recommend. They're going to recommend based off their own belief system. They're not going to know what you believe yet. Talk to them. Build a relationship. Many of you here tonight have talked to me for an hour. At the end of that hour, we were best friends. I knew things about you that you didn't think I would know. You shared things with me that you didn't think you'd share. But we built a relationship. And that's what it takes. Somebody who to trust, whether it be a priest, a shaman, a conjure worker, a friend, build the trust in that relationship. So that when they say, stop, you're going down a road you don't want to travel, you at least hear them. Because in the end, the choice is yours. Remember, you create your own reality. Nobody can judge you. But when someone you trust says, wait a minute, this might not be the best course of action for you. If you trust them, you'll at least listen. You'll at least hear what they have to say. And yes, Manny, the astral plane is finite. There is no limit. The universe is constantly growing and changing and manifesting within itself. Oh, you walking by, a couple of them said hello.
Okay.
So I really enjoyed having all of you come tonight. I'm reading through your comments. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'll read them, I'll answer them, and all of you will glean the same information from them. But for the light workers out there, make your own path. Use products you trust. And if your guilt tells you don't use something, then don't use it. But don't think for an instant that the 4 applications of your reality don't apply. What you choose to believe in and how you choose to worship it is your choice, your path. As always, I hope you have a beautiful day tomorrow and do it your way. Good night. And here at Inexplicable Things, we love each and every one of you.